Oh, it's starting. Hold on, I better cancel it. Hi, everybody. Let's just wait for a moment. Technology. Hi, everybody. Please let me know if you can hear us. Rather, let us know if you can't hear us, because then we'll have to fix the audio. Hopefully, everyone's had a nice Sunday so far, and welcome to the next episode of Sydney Social Live. It is a one-of-its-kind, thought-provoking talk show where we expose the hidden realities of social circles in Sydney. Hidden realities that a lot of people are currently struggling with, but no one really is talking about these issues. Now, what is the goal of this talk show? The goal of this talk show is to spark important conversations, to promote empathy, and to eventually foster a community that is inclusive, that is non-judgmental, that is positive. So as you all know, that today is episode 3, and each session I have a special guest who joins me for this chat. And today we have a very, very, very special guest, Shipra Tewani. So welcome, Shipra.
Hi, Nim.
Thank you. Thank you for coming today. Now, Shipra is a very, very accomplished business owner. She owns a couple of boutique stores in Beecroft in Sydney. And one of them is called Melange Chic, which I absolutely adore, and I love shopping there. I love all the stuff you have.
Thank you.
And the second one is Bees, Bells and Whistles.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about these two stores, because they're quite different, aren't they?
They are. So one of them is more like a fashion and a lifestyle store where you can get any gift, especially for her.
Okay.
And the other one, Bees, Bells and Whistles, is more organic, healthy. You can get lots of baby gifts there. Both of the stores cater towards very different needs and clienteles. And I promise you, between the two, we will have everything. If we don't have, we'll bring it to you.
Wow, that is some promise, everyone. I want you to repeat that. What did you just say? Tell our viewers again what you just said.
Anything whatever you have in mind, if it is not in the store, I'll make sure that I figure it out for you.
Awesome. So next time you think you want to go shopping, you know where to go, right? Like I said, it is one of my favorite stores in Sydney. Now, Shipra, today we are going to talk about some very, very important topics related to social life in Sydney, right? And offline also, we've been bouncing some ideas to pick up topics that a lot of people will resonate with.
True.
So let's begin by saying that your shops are stunning.
Thank you.
They reflect your passion for style, your passion for decor and fashion, right? However, Shipra, some people still question the hard work and the commitment that is required to run a successful boutique, to run a successful business. And I know you have a few things to tell us about this. So do you want to shed some light on this?
True. So, you know, Nim, when I started my business, started with one store, and I was frequently asked, by quite a few people, so what do you do? And I used to say that I run a business. And it's like, what kind of business? And there you go, I have a store. At that point I had one store, and I was like, there you go, I have a store. However, I could sense that they were seeking some more information, and I couldn't figure out for longest of time what were they trying to seek out. And they would push me to a point, it's like, and what do you do for your job? And I'm like, this business is my job.
Yeah. So they're not considering it to be a real job.
A real
a
job.
9 to 5 job.
9 to 5 job.
Yeah.
And that perception that you have to actually go and do a 9 to 5 job, and I think it's more true for females than males.
Okay.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
I might be wrong, but like I don't think if a male is asked that question, what do you do, and he says I run a business, they'll doubt. But as soon as a female says that, it is, oh, so this is her side hustle, but what is her main? No, girls are getting to a point where this is their main hustle and this is the only thing.
The bread and butter.
Bread and butter. We also bring food to the table with our businesses, and it's a serious job.
So more power to all the entrepreneurs out there. Also, I think, like you rightly said, a lot of people assume it's just a hobby.
Absolutely.
Right? It's just something you do in your spare time. They forget that it's a full-time, round-the-clock commitment. So, Shipra, through this show, what I'm going to ask you to maybe come, because it seems like you're in a corner. How do I get you to the center? Come this way. That way, it's better.
Yes.
Okay, so it's essential to debunk some of the misconceptions that a lot of people have about, entrepreneurs like yourself. We need to shed light on the hard work that actually happens behind the scenes so that more people start appreciating the fact that it is as busy as a full-time job. So can you share with our viewers some of the challenges that you may have faced as a business owner? Or I'm guessing you wear multiple hats. It's not just that you rock up and have a cup of coffee or, and wait for a customer to walk in.
True, absolutely. So running a small business like me includes so many different areas. I actually also manage my own websites, which is another layer to the jobs which we do. There is, at the background, we are doing the buying, we are doing the merchandising, we are doing display, understanding the market. So there are so many different principles you have to understand to get the business right and get it going. So
absolutely.
It is financials, accounting. I do get support from different, but at the end of the day, buck stops at me. So I have to be aware of everything.
Yes. And there's no such thing as a weekend really for an entrepreneur. Is that right?
It is 24/7 job. COVID made a huge difference. It was a nerve-wracking time for a small business like ours. But I'm so proud to say not only we sailed through, I retained my 100% staff.
High five.
High five.
Well
so I was keen on managing it in a way that all the staff members could still continue, and they are.
That's quite an achievement. That's quite an achievement. Before we wrap up on this particular question, because I've got two more topics that I want to cover with you, Shipra, let's talk a little bit about the positive impact that small businesses like yours have on the community. Because friends, I think it is so important for us to encourage, support small businesses like Shipra's, and I'm sure many of you out there have your own home-based businesses. What do you think are some of the benefits of having more of these kind of stores around in the community?
It's that human interaction, the human touch, which a bespoke touch, which a shop like ours or a cafe or small business can provide. When you go walk in the shop, you are not just a customer. They know you as a person. They know what are you going through, and how can they help you? Are you going for that interview? They will be at lookout for that particular top and say, look, it might go well. So we know all the events that are happening around, which is a customized service which you probably won't be able to get
in a retail
in a retail or a big department store, or in a store where there are multiple staff members doing shifts. So
absolutely. And I think by supporting businesses like yours, we are in fact promoting cultural industry, the artistic industry, and just giving more power.
That is another that's another aspect of it, and it is to each, but I make sure that whatever is manufactured in India by Milan Chic. So I carry my own brands as well as other brands. So when I make sure that whatever gets manufactured is manufactured with at least 50 to 60% female staff. So empowering women back home And those aspects of it, those aspects are individual, and small businesses can have their own ethos.
Yes.
To
absolutely
follow. So
very true.
Yes.
Here I want to tell everybody that by education, Shipra is an architect and MBA. So Shipra, I think a lot of people may not be aware of that, right? They might be thinking that, oh, she probably just opens the shop and she's on Facebook and that's all she does all day. But this is a lifestyle that you have created for yourself. So tell us a little bit more about your reasoning behind what you do.
Yeah, no, that is true. I've been asked that question also. Why did you leave architecture to come here and do? And I'm like, because this is what I love to do.
Yes.
And also it worked best for me. I am the kind of person who wants to put my family first. I wanted a lot of flexibility. Doing my own business gave me that flexibility, and I had to also look at industries where I can have that flexibility. So
yeah, very good.
Yeah,
excellent. And look, more power to you. Sorry, you wanted to say something else?
No, like that's I'm quite happy and satisfied by my choices. No regrets here.
And like you said, many times we do this to be able to get a lifestyle that works for us. Many times it's about being able to do the things that truly matter. So I think it's important for all of us to start looking at entrepreneurs with the same amount of respect that we would give someone who is, working tirelessly in a full-time job, because it requires the same sacrifices, the same amount of dedication, the same amount of commitment.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Fabulous. Well, moving on to our next topic. Now, this is a little bit more serious and more solemn. Shipra, we've been talking about offline, we've been talking about this very unsettling trend that is currently happening in modern day society. And that is about finding joy in someone else's misfortune. Being happy when someone else is unhappy. That's a trend which is quite unsettling. And I know that you would like to share some of your thoughts and insights.
Yeah, no, there's actually a word in English dictionary for it, called epicaricacy. And it basically means finding out somehow finding out satisfaction and
being happy when someone else fails.
Being happy when not only fails, it's like you poor thing syndrome. And I've seen this happening quite a lot in a lot of circles. It's not only, it's across the cultures.
Yes.
It's a human tendency. We want to feel good about ourselves, but there are times to feel good about ourselves. What happens is you are sitting in a group and then you start, poor thing, she has to go through so much. Most of the time, this poor thing, she has to go through so much, happens when she is not there.
Yeah.
And it just becomes more like a gossip. Yes, there can be that empathy. We all are human beings. God created that empathy in us.
Yep.
But what we should take away is, if we are able to contribute, if we are able to contribute to their problem, we discuss it.
Exactly.
If we are able to find a solution for them, we discuss it. Otherwise, just to feel good about yourself, if you discuss it and then leave it there on the table and let other women also feel the same, either they are in the same boat, or they are in that superior boat, and in both boats it just does not leave a good feeling.
So true, so true. There's actually a German term for it as well, which is called Schadenfreude.
Yes.
And that is about taking joy in others' misery. And funnily enough, the Japanese also have a saying for it. It is called, the misfortune of others tastes like honey.
There.
See, like you said, it's across cultures and there is a term for all of that. It's almost become like a spectator sport, where you're just sitting and watching someone else's misery and saying, you poor thing, when you don't really have anything proactive to offer or no solution.
Absolutely. There are good platforms which are coming now. GoFundMe. It is the same platform, but they have found out a solution. They put a story, they collect the fund. that is solution.
Yes.
Constructive building.
Yes.
If we can constructively build, well and good. If we cannot, there are so many happy things in this world to talk about. Why do you want to talk about somebody's misery?
Absolutely.
Especially at his or her back.
Yes, yes. And I think I've been thinking about this for a while, and I've been wondering, what is the cure for this, right? So sometimes I think we really need to increase our empathy for other people. And I think once we are secure in ourselves,
Yes.
once we feel complete,
Yeah.
then we no longer have that urge to seek happiness in somebody else's unhappiness, because that's when you are able to be graceful enough to empathize and to feel somebody else's pain.
Spot on, spot on. We
Yeah.
need to have that empathetic behavior in us, and we need to be kind rather
Absolutely.
than, yeah.
Yes. Kind, empathetic, the
Yes.
EQ needs to develop.
EQ needs to develop.
Absolutely. All right, so that was our second topic, and now we come to our final topic that is something I've written a lot about over the years, and I know we've chatted about it offline as well many, many, many times, and I'm sure a lot of our viewers will resonate with it as well. And currently there is this pervasive phenomenon in social circles, and I don't mean just in Sydney, social circles all over the world, called FOMO. Fear of missing out. And it seems to be getting bigger. The beast is getting bigger and bigger by the day. Tell us a little bit about your experiences with FOMO, or people struggling with FOMO.
So, Nim, growing up all our lives, all of us have seen this as a marketing tactic. Like, marketers do that. Bhala, iski saadi, meri saadi se safed kaise?
Oh, I remember that one.
That we all, every time
Yes.
there is a comparison that is a kind of FOMO. It's like, am I missing out on something? What has now happened is, it used to be on some physical things here and there. Marketers used to do it to entice people, but with social media in picture and sharing of all our, if there are happy moments, people want to share it with world. They go and they put it on social media. And that has created the beast to grow bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
I have seen it in many instances myself. I have had people booking vacations after seeing
Somebody else's
vacation pictures on social media. I have seen people making sure that they go to the next concert because somebody went live on the previous concert.
Yeah.
Are you fan of the next person coming in? Probably,
Maybe not.
maybe. The criteria has to be, if you like it, you do it. We have to learn, and we have to be confident enough. If I enjoy it, I do it. If I don't enjoy it, I don't do it.
I think what you're saying is, and I completely agree with that, is many times people just go because they want the opportunity to take a selfie and post it to say, hey, I'm cool as well. I go to these concerts as well. It's not just you. Irrespective of whether it adds any value to your life, whether you enjoy it, whether you even know the singer.
Absolutely. And the other aspect of FOMO is
Being invited?
Being invited, parties.
Yeah. I wrote an article actually yesterday, which was,
I did read that.
Why wasn't I invited?
Invited.
A lot of people actually go out and say this. Now sometimes, hum mazak mein bhi keh lete hai, we say it as fun, mujhe kyun nahi bulaya, that kind of thing, which is good natured, harmless, that's fine. But it's when people ask as if it's their birthright. They're angry, they're demanding, why wasn't I invited? Now I don't think it's compulsory that just because you know somebody well, that you have to invite them to every single event or every single party or every single whatever. It's not compulsory.
It is not. And of course, host has their own reasons to invite whatever group. There can be limits, there can be constraints, there can be simple, like I was discussing the other, there can be constraints as good as number of seats. Now, if you want to have seated dinner, you might not want to have so many people under one roof.
Exactly.
It's hard to. So,
and people should not take it personally. It's not like your worth as an individual has been diminished because you were not invited. Like Shipra said, every host or hostess has their own reasons, they has their own constrictions because of which they can't invite everybody they would want to.
absolutely.
Right?
And if you consider yourself that person's friend, she will invite you, she or he will invite you sooner or later.
On another occasion.
On another occasion.
Yeah.
And if they don't invite you for multiple occasions, get the clue. They don't want you to invite. Are they even that important in your life?
Absolutely, absolutely.
I have grown out of FOMO. I will not say I'm a saint who was not ever affected with it. But as you grow mature, you're like, do I really want to be there? Did I, like, and then there are times when you are there and it's like, do I really want to be here? If you ask that question to yourself, you will also figure out next time what do you want to do and what you don't want to do.
Absolutely.
Not everybody, everything is everybody's jam, and it's not important. It's not important to be there everywhere. We have so many commitments.
Yes.
We are juggling so many things.
Yeah.
When one thing is happening, you are giving up on something else.
Absolutely.
Prioritize according to the importance in life.
So true, so true. And I think FOMO, there's the opposite, which is joy of missing out.
Joy, yes.
Which I think we also need to give equal importance, because sometimes when, like you said, when you say no to something, you can say yes to something that matters more.
Absolutely.
So very important to prioritize, very important to actually be grateful, to come back to that point about what people put on social media. Let's be grateful for the blessings we have in our lives, because very often we forget gratitude.
Yes.
There's so much we have that we have thankful for. And also, Shipra, people's real life is not their real life.
Bilkul. And sometimes you are at a vacation, you see this beautiful pictures there, and it's like you go there and you end up seeing it's like, no, this is so crowded.
Yeah, it's not your jam, like you said.
It was not. So make sure you really want to do it before you decide to do it.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Be it going to invites, being it going on vacation, doing things.
Yes. And I think, friends, maybe if less people go around angrily asking, why wasn't I invited? It really puts the hostess in a very awkward position, because the hostess does not want to hurt your feelings, does want to come up with a creative answer. And unfortunately, not everybody can come up with a creative answer under pressure. So, if you know the person well and you just want to joke about it good-naturedly, by all means. But let's not go around putting poor event organizers or hostesses into this hot seat. True. Where they have to answer these very awkward questions.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Fabulous. Well, that was our 3 very serious topics for today. Thank you so much, Shipra, for having shared. I'm not sure if I've forgotten to say anything that we were supposed to bring up today live. Have we covered everything?
I think we are.
We have?
We have.
So we are moving very fast towards our rapid fire.
Yes.
But before that, we always like to give a shout out on this show to some local businesses. So I'm going to first ask you about, what's your favorite cuisine? Like whenever you decide to go out to eat, what's your favorite kind of food to have?
For me, I am a very, very desi girl at heart.
Okay.
And it is going to be Indian.
Indian restaurant.
Yes.
So what's your favorite restaurant?
My favorite restaurant is Shri Refreshment Center in Harris Park. It's this small paratha joint.
Little India now?
Little India now. Yes, Little India now. It does not even have seating. That's where I and my husband go for date.
Oh.
It's like, you remember your college days, they make the most amazing parathas. And
so what's the name of the restaurant again?
Shri Refreshment.
Shri Refreshments. And what's your favorite go-to paratha?
Aloo and piyaj paratha.
Oh my God, I'm hungry now.
Yes.
I'm so hungry. All right, so I'll keep that in mind next time I'm in the mood for paratha. Before we wrap up, we will do our customary rapid fire. So I've got some very quick questions, one-word answers almost for you. Okay, so let's begin with a very simple one. Tea or coffee?
Tea.
Tea. Do you like coffee at all?
I do, and I drink a lot of coffee. I can actually drink coffee and go to sleep in half an hour.
You're like me.
So,
But tea is your favorite.
Tea is, and Indian kadak chai is my favorite.
Oh, very nice. Okay, now fashionista that you are, we have to ask a fashion related question. Stilettos or flats?
Well, it used to be stilettos. But as I am growing older, they are becoming flatter. However, I would still love to get into my stilettos to feel that more chic than I am.
Awesome, very good. All right, koki or dal pakwan?
Oh, this is a tough one. So both of these are Sindhi breakfasts. They were very, very rampant, like common in my household. I'm a Sindhi growing up.
Yeah.
And I cannot, I cannot forget, dal pakwan is delicious, but I cannot forget my mom's koki. She does the most amazing koki, and
I've never tasted it. So what is it exactly? What is koki?
koki is like a savory bread,
Okay.
but a thick one, and my mom used to make it with desi ghee. If you eat one in the morning, you don't have to eat anything all through the day. It's so filling.
That is awesome. Oh,
Yes.
mouth-watering. Just a couple of more. Would you call yourself an introvert or an extrovert?
This is, again, I'm sitting on the fence. I enjoy being extrovert.
Yeah.
I'm a party girl. I like to go enjoy parties. I also like to go out with friends, have fun, but I am equally happy at home, finding comfort, snuggling and sitting. So it depends on
the day,
day
depends on
and
the mood.
Yes.
And lastly, when you think of a weekend, what's your idea of a fun night or a fun weekend?
See, the fun weekend definition is also changing
Okay.
as we are growing older.
Yep.
It used to be like, going out on Friday evening, Saturday evening, relaxing on Sunday. From there, it has come to a point where Friday evening, you are in your
Pajamas?
with Netflix and G&T, watching your favorite show.
Gin and tonic. I
Yes.
like that. Yes.
So-
Yum. Yes.
So,
And watching Netflix.
watching Netflix.
Yeah, the problem with Netflix sometimes, and I'm sure a lot of people will resonate, is that I'll sit down, but by the time I scroll and find something that really interests me, I am asleep.
Yes.
Which is again, so now I've decided I really need to have a short list made ahead of time.
Absolutely. Or message your girlfriends.
That's it.
Make
Absolutely.
suggestions.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, that's it for today. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. I hope you've enjoyed the topics we have explored. Please do share your thoughts, your insights, and if you have any questions, Shipra and I will definitely go through the comments later and we will have a look. So before we go, thank you so much, Shipra, for coming
Thank
here.
you for having me.
And really, really appreciate all the insights you've shared. I think it's so important, and I hope that these conversations will spark even more important conversations, and we eventually see a society that's non-judgmental, not worried about FOMO, and instead just has joy in occasionally missing out.
Yes.
Thank you so
Hopefully.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you
everybody.
for having me. Thank you.
And take care. Bye. And button.